All right, we'll take headlines out of the Nation newspaper now. 10 states paying wage award to workers. FEC approves 759 billion naira for Obajano, Benin, Obini, Isheri, Ogun roads. Distribution of 42,000 metric tons of grains ongoing, says federal government. Our federal government is attracting FX by Edum. Southern Senators Revive Forum. Federal government charges 𝐃𝐈𝐒 leader Bodejo with illegal creation of ethnic militia. Tinubu swears in 17 MPC commissioners is another headline there from the Nation this morning. Students' loans plans still underway on Onuga. Alleged 4 billion naira fraud. How Obiano laundered Anambra security votes by EFCC. 11 Muslims arrested in Kano for eating during Ramadan. Also, Niger land air borders are reopened after 8 months. And lastly, from the Nation this morning, farmers to get CBN's 100 billion naira worth of fertilizer.
To the Punch newspaper, federal government restores electricity to Niger, lifts sanctions, reopens border. Federal government plans fresh borrowing via Eurobond in June. Nigerians lambast accountant general commissioners over UK workshop. 35,000 naira wage award, 30 states default, Labour fumes, pensioners threaten protest. Sokoto, Kano, Benue, Bayelsa not paying, Gombe, Ogun, Osun pay 15,000, 10,000. Governors shunned negotiation, about 90% of states not paying wage award, NLC laments, and all of that is from the major story on the front page of the Punch. Away from that, 𝐃𝐈𝐒 members protest as federal government charges leader with terrorism. Rep summon Dangote, BUA others over cement price hike. 17-year-old accused of 100,000 naira theft kills self. That's on the red corner of the Punch. And finally, school abduction. Federal government rules out ransom payment, considers U.S. offer.
From the Daily Trust now, Israel uses starvation as war arm. EU. 𝐃𝐈𝐒's members demands president's release, so we have recommended new census date to Tinubu. As according to the NPC, Katsina, Nigeria Customs returns seized food items to owners. Budget padding allegations. Budget backs Ningi as opposition knocks Senate. Israel uses starvation, already took that one. Elsewhere from the Daily Trust this morning, you find these. AGF finance commissioners flayed over London workshop amidst forex scarcity. Ramadan Hisbah arrests 12 adults for not fasting. Federal government asks Binance to provide 6-month transaction data of top 100 users. Neither you nor me can control the can of worms I've opened, Ningi tells Akpabiu's Senate. I'll take a couple more. APC Forum woos Plateau governor to join party. And lastly, from the Daily Trust this morning, Sari resigns as Lazio manager.
To the Daily Post paper, excitement as Ogun begins payment of 10,000 cash award to primary secondary students. Chelsea midfielder Leslie Ugochukwu visits family in Nigeria. That's on the sports side of things. Don't stop funding Secondary Education Commission, NUT tells federal government. Nigerian government finally files terrorism charges against 𝐃𝐈𝐒 president. Enugu community chieftaincy tussle, court action against monarch-elect, dangerous step. Stakeholders. Insecurity Zamfara bans tinted glass on labeled bread. We have curbed kidnapping in FCT, Wike. IT crisis, same way El-Rufai paid ransom to bandits, Buhari kept quiet, Omokri warns. No plan to discard student loan scheme indefinitely, federal government. And some more stories says DIA declines to produce 𝐃𝐈𝐒's president in court. YPP members decamp to PDP in Imo State, in Akwa Ibom, I beg your pardon. And some more stories. Bill on power rotation passes first reading in Senate. Improved service delivery on electricity supply. Kwara government to IBDC. And lastly, Southern Senators Forum gets new executives.
We'll take some headlines from the Premium Times now before we go on a commercial break. Police shot Wuse Market as correctional service confirms killing inmate. Tinubu vows not to pay ransom to kidnappers of Kaduna students. Others. Alleged budget padding. Senate explains 3 trillion naira provision. Denies 500 million naira constituency fund. Nigeria reopens land air borders with Niger. Lifts other sanctions. No incident of piracy on Nigerian waters in 2 years. And lastly, from the Premium Times this morning, insecurity in FCT, WIKI reveals details of meeting with Nigerian senators. We'll take a break right now. When we come back, we'll be delving into the analysis of the headlines. Stay with us.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
Láti ṣe oúnjẹ tó dáa máa ń múnú mi dùn. Ìdí tó fi jẹ́ wípé nígbàkúùgbà tí n bá ń ṣe oúnjẹ, mo máa ń fi kóró náà dára sí i. Fún ẹ̀fọ́ sí, ugu o, tàtàṣé o, ṣọ̀mbọ̀ o, àlùbọ́sà. Kò sí ohun tí mo kì í fi sí tán. Ìdí táwọn ọmọ mi ṣe ń gbádùn oúnjẹ mi nìyẹn.
Mami, mi ò yọ mo fẹ́ sí.
Ṣẹ́rí, ṣètò gbogbo oúnjẹ rẹ pẹ̀lú ojúlówó ewébẹ̀. Wá fi kóró náà dára sí i fún adùn tó gbámúṣé yẹn. Lónìí, jẹun tó dáa.
If you've not tried us, here's why you're missing out. First, we're a licensed microfinance bank. Also, get our reliable POS when you open a business account or a debit card that works with a personal account. You can instantly open an account from anywhere for reliability, security, convenience, and speed. You only need one bank. MoneyPoint! Download the app or find an agent near you to get started. MoneyPoint, powering dreams.
Kò bá jẹ́ 24, 29 tàbí 32 ṣáà ti fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wa lórí gbogbo ìkànnì ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ kàn tẹ 32FM 949 fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀.
ìwọ àti tán lọ́sọ̀bẹ̀ rẹ̀ kí gan ló ń tẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ gan. Má dá mi lóhùn ọjàre, mò ń bí fa gọ́gùn ní nǹkan ni. Sọ mú mi ṣeré ni, òun wá gọ́gùn lórí fóònù ayé lóyún. Súnmọ́ bí kò wá wo ìlànà ìrọ̀rùn ti MTN Basic Search. Ìwọ kàn tẹ àmì ìràwọ̀ èje lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta, ó kàn lẹ́ẹ̀kan kí o sì fi èje parí ẹ̀. Àmì onílà méjì tá a wọ́gilé ló fi kún. Lọ́dọ̀ bá bù ṣe orí òpó ìpè MTN nìkan ló ti dúró ẹ̀ lẹ́yẹ ọ̀ṣọ́ka láì lu dátà. Kò sórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ tí ò ti lè ṣiṣẹ́.
Ṣé wọn ò ní fẹ́ jẹ nínú àǹfààní bàǹtà tí MTN yìí ni? Ìwọ ṣá tẹ *77717# lójú ìpè MTN rẹ.
Now, what does it mean to be the overall best? Is it the overall accolades or the overall bragging rights? Is it the roar of the crowd cheering your name over all others? Introducing Overall Best Celebrity Showdown on Africa Magic, where big names play big games. Watch Saturday and Sunday from the 3rd of March as 3 squads led by 6 celebrity captains go head-to-head for 7 straight weeks of fun, games, and fierce competition for the title of Overall Best. From Africa Magic Showcase, Urban and Family. Stay connected to DSTV. It's your moment.
Guy, if I tell you all this plenty airtime and data, where they take flex? Now dash glow dash me, you go believe.
Dash get for this kind of economy. I beg you.
Dey there now. As I buy my glow sim like this, spirit, I first collect 1,000 naira welcome bonus. Sarah. As I come recharge, bam, glow knock me 10 times airtime bonus. I also enjoy double data. Join.
Wait, you mean 1,000 naira welcome bonus?
Yes.
Plus 10 times airtime bonus?
Yes.
Plus double data again?
Yes.
For which universe now?
The glow break the universe now. You want try?
Oh, mo. No wonder boys they flex anyhow on top phone 247 non-stop. Hey, I talk am.
My people, not let grass grow under your Lego. Go get your glow sim today. Dial *777# to buy and enjoy 10 times airtime bonus plus up to double data. Offer day for both new and existing subscribers there.
Glow Unlimited.
Bó ṣe ń wò mí yìí, mo jẹ́ kan nínú àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ jẹun dáadáa. Ìdí tó fi jẹ́ wípé tí mo bá fẹ́ jẹun, ọ̀pọ̀ nǹkan tó dáa ni mo máa ń fi sínú ẹ̀ fún àsáró mi lẹ́yìn tí mo bá fẹja sí i. Màá fàlùbọ́sà, tàtàṣé àti úgú ṣẹ̀jọ́ ẹ̀. Màá wá fi kóró náà tá a jẹ́ kó sọkútù wọ̀wọ̀ sí i fádùn tó gbámúṣé. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ìgbé ayé tó dáa ni téèyàn bá jẹun tó dáa.
Ṣẹjọ́ gbogbo oúnjẹ rẹ pẹ̀lú ojúlówó ewébẹ̀. Wá fi kóró náà dára sí i fún adùn tó gbámúṣé yẹn. Lónìí, jẹun tó dáa.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM 94.9, the antidote to depression.
Every day is another chance
Thank you for staying with us on the Break of Dawn. It's 44 minutes gone past 6 a.m. It's time to dive into the analysis of the headlines this morning. I am DENIKE Adimowagon.
And I'm Kenny Durutilu. Joining us this morning for the analysis is Professor 𝐂𝐏𝐿. Good morning, Prof.
Top of the day to you and everybody out there, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so let's start off with the latest development, talking about the alleged budget padding saga. Now, we understand the Senate has explained the 3 trillion naira provision, and there's also the recent issue that's come to light, the issue of the provision of 500 million naira as constituency funds to the senators. I'd like your overall take on these developments surrounding this particular story, and also your take on potential legal and political ramifications for those who are involved in this particular scandal.
Well, we already know that the distinguished senator, has been suspended for 3 months. The first thing that I would say is that do they even have the power to suspend him for 3 months? The last time that 𝐂𝐈𝐒 went to court, it was established that they couldn't go beyond 14 days. But that's another matter which we'll pursue. But my view is that already I think it's been established that the amount of money which had budget heads was 25 point something trillion.
Right.
And then there's another 3 trillion which is left hanging, and there are other things like INEC and some other things, and some of them simply don't have a budget head. So it would appear on the face of it that the distinguished senator was truthful and being honest, but that he said too much. And then out of that came the 500 million constituency allowance,
right,
which is unconstitutional because all this nonsense was, all these legislators wanted some money so that they could go to their constituencies. They call it pork and barrel in America. But the people that really execute projects are the executive. The job of the legislator is to make laws, to legislate. So what are they doing with constituents? And even if we accepted that it was all right, why is it that many of them have been unable to use this for the good of the people? Of course, we had that distinguished member of the House of Reps, I can't remember his name, that was giving 10,000 each to his constituents and gave them palliatives, from that point of view. Right. Some would argue that they are consumables and that it's not sustainable, but at least in times of difficulty and times of suffering, he intervened. A lot of these senators with 500 million or 220 million, whatever it is, a lot of them have not shown and have not been able to demonstrate that they've made the lives of their constituents better from that point of view. It may be a generalization, but I wait to be corrected. Budget IT, they are the experts in this area. They have contended that the Senate, had 3.7 trillion without budget head. So I think the Senate really should re-examine the way that it does its business. And I think when people stand up to speak the truth, to say the truth, there's such a thing as privilege. When people exercise parliamentary privilege, I don't think they should be suspended. I think that's freedom of expression. You express the way you understand things and appreciate things does not mean you understand that you're being malicious or that you've committed an offense.
What about the budgetary process? Do you think there should be a rethink or, an overhaul of it?
Let's understand it first and foremost, that the executive will cost to present to the Senate an estimate of the spending in that year, in the financial year. At the end of the day, the budget doesn't mean you have the money. It just means that that's your proposed spending. A lot of times, they come under budget. They are unable to raise the money concerned. Right. From that point of view, I think the budget should be realistic. And I don't think the National Assembly, should increase budgets that are sent to them. I think there should be a constitutional amendment. Once the executive has sent, it can be varied downwards. It can be, some of the budget heads can be amended and say, okay, that money should go here and there. But I don't think they should be increasing the size, because the only people that understand and appreciate the spending priorities, or rather the extent of the money we can source, are the executive. The legislature doesn't know where the loans can be acquired from, or whether the petrol, the crude oil is going to be enough, the exports are going to be enough, to finance the budget. The people that know and understand are in the executive. So why are they meddling around, adding about 1.7 trillion, whatever trillions they're adding? So I think that's the amendment that should come. Let the executive set the budget, let the legislature vary it, but not increase it.
All right, let's take this one. Some kidnap cases in FCT stage managed. This is according to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, 𝐂𝐈𝐒𝐿. and he was saying that some kidnap in the FCT in recent times were stage managed. He also declared that there's been remarkable improvement in the security situation of the territory. And at this point, what does stage managed mean? Does it imply that the cases are not real, or does it imply that the cases are exaggerated? Because stage managed or not, Nigerians are interested in putting an end to the entire menace before it becomes even worse. And of course, not all of us can move with security like the senators and the likes. And also, the federal government yesterday said it will not pay a dime as ransom for the release of over 280 pupils and teachers of government secondary school Kuriga, Kaduna State. They were kidnapped on the 7th of March. What's your take as linking these two stories?
Yes, first and foremost, you realize those people are asking for 40-something trillion. They're mad. They're out of their trolley. You understand? They're not even being realistic. When somebody begins to ask for 40-something trillion, you just know that they're having a laugh. You understand? It's a serious matter, but they're not even. You understand? These people are not even realistic. That's the first thing. The federal minister obviously has information that I do not have, but the vast majority of Nigerians believe that most of this kidnapping is real. Of course, there will be some miscreants and some dodgy characters that are, trying to cash in. But the vast majority of this kidnapping, I would suggest, are real. So I don't know where the honorable minister gets his information from, His Excellency gets his information from. But if he has that information, then let him provide that information and let him provide it to the law enforcement authority so that those who are, crying wolf, when there's no wolf, are apprehended and are arrested, from that point of view. As to not paying a ransom, I think the federal government has taken the right policy. Even if they're going to do it, it should not be a public thing, so that other people who are engaged in kidnapping are not encouraged. But beyond that, they have to show and have to demonstrate that they can prevent it. That when it's not prevented, that they can pursue, apprehend, and prosecute. But so far, they've not shown they can prevent it. They've not shown that they can pursue, and they've not shown they can apprehend them.
Do you think that this outrageous sum of money is just to get the president or the people in power to dialogue with them? Because Gumi yesterday said that he would love to dialogue, or he would like to dialogue with them, and for President Tinubu to not make the same mistake as the former president. Do you think that that's the reason for this outrageous sum? If they cannot pay it, maybe they'll be forced to come to the table.
It may well be. It might well be that strategy. And of course, Gumi is always standing in the wings, you understand, to act as a facilitator or somebody who intervenes and speaks to the other side. But it's a very curious way they're going about it. If they had said something like, they're not even saying billions. Remember that nobody has even said billions in the past. It's always been millions. Now you jump from billions to millions to you skip billions and you're now saying trillions. It's a very curious way, but I guess it brings the attention of the federal government.
Do you think, sorry to cut you short, do you think that the intervention of the United States, because there have been some conversation around offering to assist Nigeria in this particular situation, do you think that it's going to come timely, or maybe it just might not come as fast as, because this is becoming increasingly worrisome?
Well, I think every day matters and every day counts. And if the United States say they want to get involved, it's going to take some time before they get the logistics together and before they come. It takes a few days. And so I think whilst they should accept any help that they have, the urgency of the federal government, they must not lose the urgency, and they must use the capability that they have, to ensure that these children, because they are children in many instances, are released, and that dialogue continues to the extent that no harm comes to these children. It is the responsibility of government, number one, the security and the welfare of its citizens, and those children are citizens of Nigeria.
All right, Prof, let's talk about the president's strong stance against negotiation with kidnappers. That's relating to the kidnap of 200 students in Kaduna State. The president said that not a dime, no dime should be paid to the abductors in the cause of rescuing them. Prof, how effective do you think this particular order from the president will be? In the first place, should this have been made public, especially when you consider the safety of the students involved here?
I don't think the federal government had a choice. I think they have to make it unmistakable and clear that they are not engaged in paying ransom. The reason why they have to do that is because the spate of ransom has increased, because they know and they believe that government or somebody is going to pay the ransom. But I think the federal government has been pushed to the wall because the amounts are outrageous and because the spate of kidnapping going on. Should they have made it public? I think, yes, they need to send an unmistakable message to them that no, we won't engage in paying ransom. The body language may be different. They may be doing something behind the scene. Right. But I think in public, they need to make that clear. Doesn't mean that behind the scene, because the Americans do the same too, and the British do the same. But of course, back channels, they use back channels to do all sorts of payments and so on and so forth. So that might be the strategy of this federal government. But I don't think publicly you accept that ransom should be paid, because that a spate and a deluge, you understand, and a pandemic, if I may use that excuse, of kidnapping will be the order of the day.
We've talked time and time again about reducing the cost of governance, but it seems like it's going not to the ears of those who should have that information. The civil society and rights group have lambasted the Accountant General of the Federation, that is Dr. 𝐂𝐈𝐒𝐿, for a workshop in the United Kingdom at a time when the economy is experiencing a major downturn. There were other officials there as well that attended this event, and it happened at the Copthorne Tower Hotel and all of that from March 4 to March 9, 2024. Is the United Kingdom a branch? I know that we laugh about it on social media and say that the United Kingdom is now an extension of Nigeria, but are they really taking it literally that it's a branch to go and hold a meeting? So many officials had to go, and the cost of that alone, what do you make of that?
Yes, you said the cost of that alone. If you realize how much it costs to go to England from Nigeria, then you begin to wonder. The mind boggles why they couldn't have made a Zoom workshop. You understand? If you needed foreign experts, if that's what you needed, then just book a local hotel there. We have the technology, Zoom technology. We have Google Meet. We have all the stuff, and just set it up, and would have saved it.
They were there for 5 days. 5 days, and which means that they had to have lodged, they had to have eaten.
Extra code and everything.
Right.
Yes. So it's unnecessary, and I think that extra budgetary, well, not extra, that amount spent, needs to be interrogated, and she needs to be called to question. Somebody needs to be on top of these things. We don't have all this money. It's borrowed money in many instances, and it seems as if the executive in some sort of way is following the lead of the legislature in terms of wasteful spending. To me, it's a wasteful spend. To me, it could have been avoided, and let's hope that somebody is called to order, and yes, the heads may have to roll.
Is it a case of the weather, Prof? Maybe that's what
the weather drove them to the United Kingdom.
I mean, brainstorming is better under London weather.
No, it's better under London weather, but London weather is cool. And so what you have to have is just increase the horsepowers of your AC. You understand? Have nice and plush accommodation. You could even go to Obudu. Well, Obudu is run down now. But you could go to somewhere nice, where you don't have the distraction. There are many places in Nigeria you could go to. You needn't have gone to the United Kingdom, for any purpose whatsoever. Not in these circumstances, because we simply can't afford it. All you need, if we needed experts, you pay those experts there, set up Zoom over there, you understand? And then, of course, you have your masses of people that you are trying to train, or whatever you call it, gathered in a room somewhere here, and they can stay there for 3-4 days. It doesn't matter.
All right, Prof, your reaction to this one from the Punch. The Nigeria Labour Congress has expressed anger over the failure of about 90% of states, over 30 states, in paying the wage award as agreed by the federal government and organized labor. Let's have your take on the reluctance of states to implement that 35,000 naira wage award and the larger implications on socioeconomic stability.
Well, the states are really taking the mickey. Why am I saying that? They've increased their allocation by about 60%. We would have said 90%, but you have to remove inflation, which is almost 30%. So they've increased their allocation by about 60%. Local governments too are also included. The FAC has increased it. And you wonder what they're doing with these funds. There are states, not just that, there are states that have not even met their gratuity commitments, or have not met the, other commitments, As I was saying, there are states that have not even met their gratuity commitments, pension commitments, and so it's unconscionable that they have not even met the basic, People can't live on 35,000, you know that, and they are not even meeting it. So you ask the question, where is the money, the extra money they've got, where is it going? And I think states need to be called to account. It's good what the Labour Congress is doing, but I'm not even sure that the Labour Congress is really serious. They are asking for 500,000. You understand? Yeah. As minimum wage. From that point of view, that's not a very serious way to begin to negotiate. First, negotiate the fact that states are not paying it based on the fact that they've got increased allocation. Refer to examples of states like Borno and those that are paying it. Get facts and figures together. That's the way to go.
A lot of the states that are actually not paying it, the ones that are paying 10,000, 15,000. Also, pensioners are saying they're going on strike as a result of the failure to pay their wage award.
Pensioners can't go on strike, so I'm a bit surprised as to them saying they want to go on strike. Strike what?
Protest, I beg your pardon.
Protest,
yes.
Protest, yes. Yes, they can go on protest, and it will be a sorry state to see pensioners on the street, our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers. I think that would be a shame.
Is that going to account to much, the protest?
It will, because people don't want to see their grandmothers and great-grandfathers and so on the street. So it will. But the fact is that the 10,000 is not the law. The law is what's the law according to 30,000? 35.
35,000 wage award.
That is the law. So whatever they're doing is illegal, especially if it's the government. Even the private sector are expected to pay 35. So I think somebody needs to call them to order. The members of the House or the civic society, that's what we call them, needs to call them to order, especially if they're getting much more money. You have to ask the question, what are the impact on the social economic factors? You also ask. Of course, it makes people feel cheated. And of course, it makes people restless that the government that they voted in doesn't really care that much about their plight.
All right, it's time to go on another commercial break. When we return, it will be time to take your reactions. Do stay with us.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
Is this a mistake?
What? What's that? What happened?
See, I just bought 1,000 Naira Glow data, and instead of the usual, I got 3.9 gigabytes.
Guy, I swear, that's how I saw it too. I bought 2,000 Naira data yesterday, and I got a whopping 9.2 gigabytes.
Wow! Glow data is just always bigger.
Yep, and always better. I swear down. Babe, why are you removing your SIM?
I'm leaving this network and getting a Glow SIM immediately. And I'm not giving you my new number. You're on probation. Why didn't you tell me about these new Glow data plans?
Glow new data plans. Always bigger, always better. Babe, sorry now. Yes, get a Glow SIM card today and enjoy bigger, better data on the Glow network. Just dial *777# and choose your plan.
Glow Unlimited.
láti ṣe oúnjẹ tó dáa máa ń múnú mi dùn. ìdí tó fi jẹ́ wípé nígbàkúùgbà tí n bá ń ṣe oúnjẹ mo máa ń fi kóró náà dára sí i fún ẹ̀fọ́ sí ugu o tàtàṣé o ṣọ̀mbọ̀ o àlùbọ́sà kò sí ohun tí mo kì í fi sí tán. ìdí táwọn ọmọ mi ṣe ń gbádùn oúnjẹ mi nìyẹn.
Mami, mi ò yọ mo fẹ́.
Ṣẹ́rí ṣètò gbogbo oúnjẹ rẹ pẹ̀lú ojúlówó ewébẹ̀. Wá fi kóró náà dára sí i fún adùn tó gbámúṣé yẹn. Lónìí, jẹun tó dáa.
Get in on the action with Betano, your exciting destination for sports betting. Enjoy an award-winning experience with amazing betting options, cash outs and missions, as well as other features. Join now and get a welcome bonus of up to 200,000 Naira. Betano.ng, the game starts now.
Now, what does it mean to be the overall best? Is it the overall accolades or the overall bragging rights? Is it the roar of the crowd cheering your name over all others? Introducing overall best celebrity showdown on Africa Magic, where big names play big games. Watch Saturday and Sunday from the 3rd of March as 3 squads led by 6 celebrity captains go head-to-head for 7 straight weeks of fun, games, and fierce competition for the title of overall best. From Africa Magic Showcase, Urban and Family. Stay connected to DSTV. It's It's your moment.
If you've not tried us, here's why you're missing out. First, we're a licensed microfinance bank. Also, get our reliable POS when you open a business account or a debit card that works with a personal account. You can instantly open an account from anywhere for reliability, security, convenience, and speed. You only need one bank. MoneyPoint! Download the app or find an agent near you to get started. MoneyPoint, powering dreams.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM, 94.9, the antidote to depression.
Oh 0705 5949 0829 7949. It's 32 FM 94.9. The Papers Review. You can share your thoughts with us on any of the headlines that have made the newspapers this morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Ade from UI.
All right, go ahead.
I would not mention the people that are going to UK to waste money because the people that.
Hello, good morning. Okay. 0809 7000 949 0906 2000 949. Some reactions on Facebook. Raja Hafiz says, good morning, DENIKE, Kenny, and analyst in the studio. On the issue of kidnapping in Kaduna, I'm not on the same page with President Bola Tinubu not to pay ransom. The son of my friend had been kidnapped since 3 months ago, and they're requesting for 100 million naira, and he has paid 60 million naira, and they're still requesting for the remaining 40 million naira. If they kidnap the president's son, I'm very sure he will pay ransom. God bless Nigeria. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Ade from UI.
All right.
I was saying that in terms of wasting of money to UK to go and do anything, I think we have returned Nigeria in terms of corruption like 80 years backward again. So sad. After Obasanjo has got EFCC. So unfortunate. But that's by the way. On the issue of
0705 5949 0829 7949. Those are the numbers. We're live on Facebook. That's 327-949 Faya on Facebook. You can share your thoughts with us on that platform as well this morning.
All right, we'll take some more calls. Hello.
DENIKE.
Good morning.
Good morning. Kenny, morning. Good morning. This is okay. First, I think our president opening the Niger border is actually eating his word. Probably if you have, go and listen to what he said when he was threatening the sanction, when they placed the sanction. And I think it was the threat of Russia signing an agreement with Niger to dam. Probably that's what happened. So that's for some of us that will just stand up and say one set of people will just overrun a sovereign nation. We know the experience of Russia and Ukraine. So probably that has made us to eat our word now. We are lifting almost all the sanctions against Niger. ECOWAS is doing that now. Please, what happens to the other borders? Are they also opened? Or is it because Niger has something that we have, that we want? That is by the way. And of course, yesterday I talked about our Senate president. The reality is coming out. So actually something was added to the budget. They denied anything ever happened. That is the integrity I said yesterday. I said they've lost it. Good morning. This is okay.
All right. Prof, you want to react to the Niger border opening and how this is going to affect other borders because people are agitating for other borders to be open, the Benin Republic border and all of that.
I think this is rare politics. What do I mean by that? Pragmatism. When you discover that your policies are not working and that other factors are coming to play, then you amend it accordingly. And I think I must commend the President and Commander-in-Chief for, reacting and amending. I would have preferred him, to have not taking that decision in the first place, but he took it.
Please hold that thought. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Inga Mario, calling from Apata. Good morning, Doctor. Thanks for the hospitality the other time. Now, on the issue of the Senate, you can see that Akpabio really has to go. Akpabio is not helping that chamber. Looking at his incident, looking at the way he even got to that position, very soon, I will wish that Akpabio should vacate that seat because they are covering a lot of anomalies in that chamber. A lot of criminality activities is going on in that chamber when you talk about monetary wise. On the issue of Ningi,
Ningi, looking at what he's paying out, Ningi is 100% right. But in the next few days, few weeks, we know who is telling lie or who is telling the truth. And on the issue of Mr. President telling us that he's not going to pay ransom, and I think it's good. But let him tell us how he's going to save, the lives of those precious pupils and the teachers that are being captive up to a week now. Let him tell us in clear times how he's going to save them. Because if it had been President Tinubu's son that has been kidnapped, or if the whole world armies would have gone there to the Haida to save him. So I want the president to come and tell us how he's going to save those people in captivity. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Timothy Okori on Facebook says, good morning, 32 FM. Ningi should be of good cheer. He has overcome corruption. Truth is life, and only truth gives eternal success. I like Ningi. He's my kind of person. They may not like it, but that's their trouble. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
This is Olu from LA.
Go ahead, Olu.
The issue of border opening of Niger. Look, we must understand something in this country. You see, when that border was closed, especially that of Niger, you can see the reaction of some people in the north. Look, we are just deceiving ourselves. Some people have their homes there, and the president has to listen. Otherwise, the whole thing will pack up, and all of us will begin to blame him. Good morning.
All right, Miriam Yetunde says, good morning. Insecurity has been in existence in Nigeria for decades, but it's worrisome how the federal government fold their arms and watch things worsened to this extent. Sincerely, I think the kidnappers and terrorists should channel their anger to those that are in the corridor of power. Maybe by then they'll realize the negative effect the menace is having on poor Nigerians.
0705 5949 0809 700949. Those are the numbers to be part of the paper's review this morning. Prof, you want to react to some of the comments?
Yes. Especially I was on the issue of the border. Just let's remember that when they say the border has been open, it doesn't necessarily mean really for export of goods or for importation of goods. For importation of goods. So when we're talking about Republic of Benin, the borders haven't been closed. But what has been closed is the importation of things like rice and other things. So what are the implications really? I think the implications are less because the borders of those places have never been shut. But what I do think,
please hold that thought. Hello. Okay.
Yes, in terms of the ransom element, if people listen very carefully, what I said, it was the right policy, but I said governments have always done back channels. In other words, they say it in public, that's the public position, but they use back channels, you understand, to do that. And of course, they are right to say that the government must show us the way forward. They're hardly going to tell us their strategy because they don't want the kidnappers to get it.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is John Olarewa-Jukoni from Adu. On the issue of Niger border, not only the land border, even the air border, because when people should recollect that when this soldier took over the government of Niger, that's how the federal government of Nigeria shut the border against the Niger. The air border, so even their electricity, they cut it off. I think they have fixed everything now. And on the issue of the abducted, the children they abducted, the federal government said that they will not pay any ransom. Yes, that's what we should suppose from the federal government and from the government, both federal and the state, because you cannot expect the government to say, okay, I will pay the ransom. It's like they have they have accepted defeat. That's why the government will never come out and say like that. But whatever the means, whatever the way they will do it, let them do it. Just to let the children be free from these bandits. Not only that, they need to also deal with the bandits because the way this issue, the terrorists going in Nigeria as far as I'm concerned, it is a business.
Okay.
And there's a business for the big people in Nigeria. Thank you. And God will bless us.
Okay, thank you very much. On Facebook, Kidron Babatunde says, Ningi, please challenge your suspension in court. Possibly they didn't follow due process. They were supposed to carry out an investigation before coming up with the pronouncement. Elofonkobale and Ningi will expose more atrocities going on in governments.
All right, final comment on Facebook. Honorable Akikumi says we should hold our state governors responsible for some economic woes. The wage award has not been paid by these state governors. Only 6 of them paid this wage award to workers. Why can't NLC in that state hold protest and Nigeria should join them in protest? The state allocation has tripled, and this government are eating on local government allocation as well. Okay, anyway. It's time for us to go. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Professor Olojaduku, for the analysis this morning. Thank you, dear listener. The Papers Review returns tomorrow, same time. I am at DENIKE at Dimuwago.
And I'm Kenny Durutilu. The Smart Kid Show is up next.